It's time for the Friday edition of Litter Media Live with Mike Smith, the icon. I'm Dan Ramey, and to our immediate left is the boy wonder, Aaron Glandon.
Do his parents ever refer to him that way? Or his girlfriend, for that matter? The boy wonder.
No, I'm a man.
And she just says, boy wonder.
Or does she say, do you ever wonder, boy?
I'm starting to picture now our Aaron Glandon in tights coming home to his wife in a Batman and Robin type situation.
I can't even get that image out of my head now.
Yeah,
Thinking about that a lot.
Stuck. It'd be worse if you thought of it was us.
If that's Superman, send me Batman.
You wouldn't be able to eat lunch. Good to have you all here today, and we're glad that Aaron's a good sport. Coming up in a moment, we'll get you caught up to date with what's making news as we get ready to jump into the weekend. A lot of stuff going on. Had some rain earlier. Still dry as a bone at the Ramey Ranch, but everyone here got plenty of rain from what I understand.
Yeah, in Frankfort, 2.5 inches from yesterday at about 2 o'clock to early this morning. We even had some thunder and lightning out there last night. What's ahead? Rain showers, scattered is what they're telling us. No line of storms or anything like that. So when they do come back here late tonight, expect them to be scattered in nature, and that'll continue through next Tuesday or Wednesday. Highs will be in the low 80s, and I think 86 is what we're talking about today, possibly. I don't know if that's what it says there. My app had 86, and then cooling off to about 81, so forth for the weekend.
Here it looks like we're looking at the upper 70s.
Yeah.
And light rain possible tomorrow morning, but everything else should be okay after about 10, 11 o'clock or so, from what we're being told by the meteorologists. All right, coming up, a look at news. But first, let's tell you about Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing, your trusted comfort advisor. If you have an issue with any of the comfort in your home in regards to the heating and the cooling, or even the plumbing, give Accurate a call. If you click on this ad anywhere you see it on our website, littermedia.com, it will take you right to their website where you can see their locations, all of their contact information, and more of what they do. AccurateHVAC.com.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
Introducing the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. We want to put your pet in the spotlight. Pets with paws to pets with fins. If they gallop, crawl, or slither, play fetch, or simply curl up and snuggle. Send us a photo of your pet and we'll announce a new pet each week. And one pet will be crowned Pet of the Year. To nominate your pet, visit littermedia.com. Click on Pet of the Week. Tell us about your pet and be sure to include a photo. Watch Litter Media Live each Thursday for the announcement of the Petland Litter Media Pet of the Week. No purchase necessary. Contest applications must be from Ohio residents and at least 18 years old.
Life. It can get on top of you quickly, can't it? But with 211, it only takes one step to get connected to the help you need. 211 is always available to help. So get in touch today.
That far away?
Say, sure. What do you think?
You think I can read that far away?
I think you can. I really do.
Okay.
Yeah. How do you feel? You want to give it a try?
I'm loose, man. Come on, Coach. Put me in.
Hometown Motors Incorporated, their spring sales event continues. And while supplies last, zero turn. I already screwed it up, didn't I?
I'm taking the
Your
new
zero turns.
Yeah.
Okay. New riding tractors starting at $1699.99.
The one that I would want, if I could get it, the new zero turn mower starts at $33.99.99.
Mom hasn't loosened the purse strings on him yet. New walk behind starting at $399.99.
New chainsaws, $279.99.
New blower starting at $199.99. And
no, come on, let me have the trimmers. $229.99.
Hurry in for the best selection, because at these prices, they're going to go off. The shelves will be empty. The floor will be open. It'll be incredible. at Hometown Motors Incorporated, 818 Eastern Avenue in Chillicothe. Hometown Motors, your store for the outdoors.
You start your chainsaw like that? Whoa!
No, it's usually you put your foot down on the, there's a place to put your foot, and you pull up.
So the lesson is don't give Mike Smith chainsaw.
Yeah, because if you do start it like this,
That seems
there's
like a good way
chance
for it to
that-
fly back into your face.
Yes.
If you're going to give me one like Elon Musk got that doesn't work, So headlines. Make sure you check our website at littermedia.com for all the latest in news. And the top of the story, that young lady down in the lower left-hand corner you see, Adena Medical Group has announced the appointment of Brooke Burns as president effective July the 28th.
She's back.
She's back. In this role, Burns will lead a diverse team of physicians and advanced practice providers delivering primary and specialty services across Adena Health's 9-county service area. Now, Adena Medical Group is the employed provider organization of Adena and includes more than 300 clinicians. Burns previously held leadership roles at Adena, including executive vice president of the medical group, and is rejoining the organization with a renewed focus on strategic growth and clinical excellence. Jeff Graham is still the CEO of Adena Health.
She was there when I was a valet at Adena. So,
Did you ever have to park her car?
I did not. No,
Okay.
no.
She didn't trust you.
We didn't park the employees' cars.
The executives. Stay away from my car, Dan.
Well, not even the executives, but I mean even the nurses and everything. They didn't use valet parking.
I can understand why they would not want Dan parking the doctors, the nurses.
Patients and visitors
Just wiped out the entire staff.
were the ones we took care of, helping to park their cars. North Fork Animal Clinic recently experienced a devastating fire at their clinic. For the last 10 years, North Fork has provided a large portion of the spay and neuter surgeries and vet care for shelter dogs at the Ross County Humane Society. No people or animals were harmed in the fire, but their clinic is not operational for the foreseeable future. As a result, the Humane Society is currently working to find affordable and timely options for their dogs as they navigate this unexpected challenge. If you've recently adopted from them and had your surgery scheduled at North Fork, they ask that you please call the Humane Society, 740-775-6808, so that they can get you on the list for an alternative surgery option. And when we heard the news about this, my heart just sunk because I was concerned about the animals, obviously, but our friend Blake Lloyd and how now they have serviced so many animals. They have done such a great service for Ross County Humane Society. They were the main group that they went to, and I don't know all the details. It's my understanding that the staff couldn't put the fire out, but they did get all the animals out safely. Everybody got out in that regard. So our thoughts will continue to be with our friends at North Fork Animal Clinic.
A new system for campsite reservations is now available for Hocking State Forest and for Mohican-Memorial State Forest. There are 23 campsites available for reservation at the Hocking State Forest Horse Campground and 7 Park and Pack campgrounds or campsites available at Mohican-Memorial. The sites were previously first-come, first-served camping areas. The new reservation system is now available to book reservations that start on September 1st and beyond. And that's a picture overhead of Hocking State Forest.
Look nice.
When the Chillicothe area family lost their home here recently and a beloved Rottweiler named Sully in a recent house fire, the family of 6 was devastated. Recognizing the depth of their loss, Huntington Township firefighters were moved to help the Woodruff family find a Rottweiler puppy to fill the huge void. Huntington Township firefighter Ryan McCain said the family lost everything in the fire, so he reached out to the Petland Chillicothe GM Kaylee Sturgill, who you see on the far left, to see if Petland could help provide the family and their new puppies with the essentials they needed for a great start, which they gladly did. And that story, of course, can be found in its entirety on our website at littermedia.com.
Visited out to the Chillicothe Jaycee's Golf Course yesterday with Jeff Postage. He is the director of golf at the Jaycee Golf Course. He talks about the switch to Bermuda grass, which is underway. You are going through a process right now, aren't you?
Yes, we are implementing the Bermuda grass into the fairways and tee boxes out here. Tahoma 31, it's a special blend Bermuda for northern states. So we are in the process right now of putting the sprigs in. So that should be wrapping up today, and hopefully tomorrow we'll be able to put in the temporary par 3 course.
You've been working on this for the last couple of weeks, and how long will you be out of commission now?
Yeah, so right now the company has told us about 6 to 8 weeks before you can get back on it and play. So right now that puts us at the end of July.
We're looking now at a lot of brown.
Yes.
And, it really stands out with the amount of rain that we've had.
Yeah.
Do you expect the rain that we're going to be getting to really help the process?
Yeah,
along?
so we really want to water it heavy for about the first 10 to 12 days, but then after that we really just want to let the heat and the sun take it over, because we want those roots to grow down deep instead of just being that the roots don't have to work right now with the water being on top. So we want the water to get down deep so the roots can go farther in and establish themselves so they can start making more sprigs on the outside.
So they'll be back open today, from what I understand, for par 3 play, and they hope that everything will be in and ready to go to fully open the entire course by the end of July.
Very good. Our road report takes us right here in Ross County. A bridge replacement project on County Road 222 between Blacksmith Hill and Concord Church Road. Now, all lanes will remain open, but there might be an intermittent delay. This project runs through fall of 2026. So this is a 2-year project.
I failed to mention that you'll be able to see that interview in its entirety with Jeff Postage on our YouTube channel. A number of folks already watching it from last night when we had that posted up. And a lot of people interested in getting back out on the course, I would think. All right, coming up in a moment to look at sports, some good news and some tough news. Winners and losers coming up in just a moment. Scioto Valley Dumpsters is where you need to call if you need a dumpster for your residence or your business. 740-253-8389. If you click on this ad, it takes you right to their to their Facebook page, where you can learn more and see what they do in action at Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
The Bean Foundation wants to raise awareness about suicide prevention by sharing 988. Trained crisis counselors are available to talk 24/7, 365 days a year. 988. Save the number. Save a life. To learn more about the Bean Foundation, click on this ad on littermedia.com.
Discover Ross County. From the breathtaking outdoor adventures to the historic sights of Chillicothe and family-friendly events and festivals. Explore more at visitchillicotheohio.com or download the free mobile app today.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
Each week, we'll announce the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And in December, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Nominate any amateur athlete by visiting littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. You'll also see the players we've named throughout the year. Make your nomination today for the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Intermedia Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And coming up at the end of our sportscast, we'll announce this week's Player of the Week. But first, let's talk about what happened yesterday.
There was a ton of things. I was glued to my den desk from 2 p.m. to 10 last night, tracking 4 games, many of them being played at the same time. But at the top of the news, the Unioto Shermans are headed to the Division IV State Baseball Final Four for a third time in school history, following a 2-0 win over Indian Creek in the regional final. All of Unioto's offense came in the bottom of the third. Now listen to this sequence. Caden Cutright gets hit by a pitch, moves to second on a wild pitch. Jackson Zickafoose walks. Then Jack Welch lays down a sacrifice bunt. Cutright scores all the way from second. When the infield throws to third trying to take Zickafoose out, they throw it away, and Zickafoose scores. And that's the only offense that Unioto had. They were held to one base hit and win the game. Blake Sanders, a 6-hit shutout for the Sherman.
And Ratliff had the hit. I think he was the only one that had the hit, if I'm not mistaken.
The only base hit in the game.
And so I know the parents of a lot of those kids, and it's been really exciting to see and watch and everything. What a bang-bang play to close out the – I mean, it was a line drive to third, and then boom.
David Long.
Getting the kid out at first.
I mean, he didn't even hesitate. He caught it and threw and they cut the kid off base to end the game.
Yes.
It's amazing how one inning can make a difference in a game. Yesterday, the Southeastern Panthers baseball team, in their regional championship, they were scoreless against then 28-1 Berlin Highland. But in the fifth inning, Highland explodes. They scored 10 times and run-ruled the Panthers 10-0. But at 16-11, Southeastern went the farthest that they'd ever gone in school history for baseball, the regional runner-up slot. So congratulations to Ronnie Free and his club. Circleville Tigers scored once in the fourth, 2 in the fifth, yielding only 1 to Dover in the seventh and a 3-1 D3 regional semi-win. The Tigers will be in action against Liberty, or check that, it's a Licking Valley. I don't know why I got Liberty on the brain. Licking Valley beat Watterson 2-0 yesterday. So they'll play at VA Memorial Stadium today in their D3 final. Lynchburg Clay. This went wild last night. They were down 3-2, tied it at 4. They went all the way into the ninth inning to beat St. Clairsville 5-4 for the D5 regional championship. Greatest finish in Hillsboro high school history for any sport. A state runner-up. The Lady Indians, though, met their match against 32-0 Kenton Ridge, 9-0 the final in the D4 state softball championship, despite the fact that Cameron Sproul only gave up 3 hits in the game. But she walked 4, had hit a batter, and the Lady Indians had an uncharacteristic 3 errors in that ball game. And the first ever state championship for Portsmouth Notre Dame, they won the D7 state title, 9-1 over Monroeville. Wheelersburg and Liberty Union both advanced. They play tonight for the Division V state championship. Liberty Union is the defending champ. Wheelersburg has won 3 state titles. That should be a dandy up at Akron tonight at 8 o'clock. That is if they're not running behind because of the games ahead of it.
And
the weather. I think they had a half-hour lightning delay in the Hillsboro game yesterday.
Yeah, which was difficult because, like you mentioned in the Southeastern baseball game, all Hades broke loose against Hillsboro in that one inning. Outside of that, it was close.
Also going on today, the OHSAA State Track and Field Championships. That's a 2-day event at Jesse Owens Track. That got underway this morning at 9:30. A lot of the field events taking place this morning, but some of the divisions will wrap up today, but that is a 2-day event for some of the divisions.
Chillicothe Paints suffered a 5-4 loss last night, falling to Champion City, who they thumped at home the night before. The road trip continues as they head to face the Normal Corn Builders. I can't remember where Normal is. I think it's in Illinois, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and so that'll be tonight and tomorrow. Cincinnati Reds were off yesterday. They're back at it again tonight as they host the Arizona Diamondbacks in a weekend set. And the Guardians and the Yankees went at it. Yanks win this one 4-0. The Guardians are back in action this weekend. I'm trying to remember who it is they play, but I know that they will start next week with the Reds up in Cleveland.
And if you're following the NBA Championship Series, that started last night. Indiana rallied from a 15-point deficit to beat the Thunder 111-110. It's the 5th time in the playoffs this season that Indiana has rallied from a 15 or worse deficit to win. But the NBA record for NBA series or playoffs is 10. And I didn't even bother to look up who that was. I saw that on ESPN. They just had the NBA logo. They didn't say who it was. But somebody did that 10 times. But that's incredible.
Probably the Minnesota Lakers.
Yeah.
Or Buffalo.
George Mikan or
whatever.
something like that. Yeah.
All right, time to announce our Neil Coleman Insurance, Wyandotte Mutual Litter Media Player of the Week, presented by Homeland Credit Union. And he's in action today. Look at him there going way over that pole. That is Hudson Williams. He is a sophomore for St. Trace. He won the D2 Regional Championship in the pole vault last week with a jump of 15 feet 6 inches. I'm looking and I'm guessing this is probably only 13 feet right here because he's well over this right now. And the pole is what? Pole's 15 feet long? 16.
Well, I thought it depended on how high you go.
Yeah, that very well could be. Yeah.
I remember.
He's got all kinds of markings on there
yeah.
to let him know.
Have you ever tried to pole vault?
Oh, I did in high school, yeah.
I never did. But I think it was my freshman or sophomore year when we were running at the state meet. And this, by the way, in those days, we ran inside the horseshoe.
Right.
That's where the track was. And I don't know, we were between prelims or something, and I was just talking to one of the other teammates, and I heard this crack. It almost sounded like a gunshot, but it was a pole vault snapping.
Fiberglass everywhere.
And it's like, holy cow.
We had Brian McQuain and also Don Von Inns at Taze Valley. This would have been 1978. And both of them were consistently over 14.6. I mean, they were destined to go to the state tournament. In 1 week, we had a pole break. It broke on Brian. I was there standing to catch the pole because during practice he would catch the pole. So as he is springing back, and on his lunge forward, it snapped and he went over the mat. I just catapulted him across the mat. So they go and they get a new pole, and they bring the coach went out and bought a new pole, and a day later brings it out. Here goes Don Von Inns. I'm standing there again, ready to catch it. And as he puts it down in, it snapped about that far from the bottom of the pole in the little, I can't remember what you call it, the little pit that you put it into. And he came straight down back into the pit. And that ruined them mentally.
I can imagine.
So, and I remember watching those fiberglass pieces just fly everywhere. It's incredible. It really is. So these kids, they put a lot of stress on these poles. And in order to get the lunge up, you have to put all of your force with one hand to put it forward, pull back, have the upper body strength to vault you over there.
50 years later, the untold story is coming out that Dan Ramey had sawed.
No.
He was trying to take them out so he could replace them.
Not the case, because the highest I got was 9 feet 6 inches at Washington Courthouse.
Yeah, amazing.
So, but congratulations to Hudson Williams. We hope we've got good news to report about him today.
We have checked on him, and he hadn't vaulted yet.
So we kind of figure he's probably passing through, waiting for some of these guys to get to his height, which is 15.6 that he had there. But if you would like to see all of the players of the week thus far, just go to littermedia.com, click on Players of the Week, and of course at the end of the year we will have a Player of the Year announced. But keep in mind, we need to get nominations in, so you can send those if you've got an amateur player. We're talking Little League Baseball, Little League Softball, track and field. We've got swimming going on this summer. You've got a kid in action and they're not being paid to play, then you need to let us know so we can have more Players of the Week. And send us in an email, littermedia@gmail.com. Get that right. Make sure you put in there Player of the Week. All right, coming up, this date in history.
A date that
will live in
we vault in to Europe. All that's coming up. In the meantime, there's no bill when there's a Phil. Contact Litter Quality Propane today about their metered gas service at litterpropane.com.
I was looking for a first job. I had been babysitting and decided it was something for a little more permanent. It pays very well. It's convenient. You can make your own schedule with the flexibility. That's something that I like. The people that I work with are great. I wouldn't ask for a better crew or management team to work for.
Tecumseh. Fascinating. Captivating. Mesmerizing. Tecumseh.
Wherever you are, you're there for a reason. You shouldn't have to make a trip to the branch just to deposit a check. Skip the trip and use our mobile app to easily and securely deposit checks from your phone. Day or night, wherever you are, or whatever you're doing, download the Kingston National Bank Mobility app today.
As a professional race car driver, I live for speed, power, and performance on and off the track. That's why I use the Dixie Chopper, the world's fastest lawnmower. Race into your local dealership today and test drive a new Dixie Chopper.
Now time for the educational portion of our program, This Date in History.
We celebrated the 80th anniversary last year, 81 today, 1944 Operation Overlord. And Dan Ramey, our resident artist, another great job coming out of the Higgins boats when
Yes.
the guys were storming the beach. The Allied invasion of northern France, commonly known as D-Day. By daybreak, 18,000 British and American parachutists were already on the ground behind enemy lines. An additional 13,000 aircraft were mobilized to provide air cover and support for the invasion. And by 6:30 a.m., American troops came ashore at what was known as Utah and Omaha beaches.
Yesterday we were doing the gyration of the Elvis Presley. Now we're floating in the boat.
Rocking in the boat.
Yes, because with all those Higgins boats that were in the water, along with the men making their way to shore, everything going on in the sky, just incredible. Incredible.
The general that's one of the consultants for Fox, they were interviewing him about something else, but because it's the anniversary of D-Day, they asked him about that. And most of these generals are also military historians. They study this stuff at West Point, so they know what works and what doesn't. And he says this is the most impactful event probably in modern warfare, because he said up until this time we weren't sure we could beat Germany. But he said history, because they do a lot of interviews with combatants after the war, and all of the generals that were still alive said after the landing, that's when they knew the war was going to end not in their favor.
And to think the thousands of men that were used in this event, and in the Pacific they had 1 million men ready to go into Japan. Incredible to think that many people were involved in this. Yeah. It was indeed the greatest generation, as Tom Brokaw named them.
He was using a figure this morning, some estimates, this is worldwide, not just military, but civilians. 100 million people died during World War II, not just from 41, but 39 on. That's just mind-boggling. 100 million people.
Yeah.
So, lest we forget.
Precisely. Coming up this weekend, we've got a lot of sports that Mike will be tracking for you, so make sure you're following our X, it makes it sound like we or divorced or something like that. We're talking about not our ex-wives, our Twitter, basically,
Litter
is what it
Media
used to
X,
be.
yeah.
Yes.
And on our website with the state track meet, you've got live results link from Mile Split from the OHSAA. We've got that embedded in our web story, so you can stay caught up with the athletes as they're competing.
Yeah, there's a lot of kids, especially D2, from our area that are participating. There's a handful from Lancaster and Taze Valley that are participating in D1. Down in the D3 level, you've got
Well, Adena's got 3 different events up there.
You got the Runkle girl who's throwing the shot put. You've got a lot of things going on there, too. So
Lancaster's also in the state softball tournament this weekend in Division 1.
Oh, I thought they lost.
Okay. That was Taze Valley got beat. Lancaster's still in.
Okay. So much to follow. Mike's going to keep an eye on that for us, so you don't have to. You just keep an eye on us. At littermedia.com, and, of course, here on our YouTube channel, we've got plenty of videos you can view and take a look at. If you get bored, scroll through some of those. If you want to relive some football highlights from previous football seasons, basketball, that sort of thing, it's all available at littermedia.com and on our YouTube channel, where you can see more than 2,400 videos. All right, that's it for the program. Thank you so much for watching. For Mike Smith and for Mr. Hand 2, I'm Dan Ramey.